Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Balatro. Is it time? Is it time for us to try to go with the plasma deck? Everybody tells me I'm catching strays in Heroes of the Storm team chat. People are saying things like, "Hey, do you like NL?" Everyone's going, "Yes, yes, our guy, our guy." He does suck at the plasma deck, though. You gotta build chips. You gotta build chips instead of mult. Okay, Asthma Dan, this one's for you. Look at that, 1444. It's an angel number, probably. I'll be honest. I don't know what that means. But let's start with the Buffoon pack. Two horrendous Eternals that, to be honest with you, I would rather skip. Give me the Jumbo Buffoon instead. I mean, again, do we have to build mult? No, but there's no chip jokers here. So, truth be told, I think I'd probably start with the half joker, and then, like, it's nice to be able to have the Baron if we're trying to produce a king-type build. I mean, this is only 20 mult, but 20 mult is like 100 points on this deck, right? Because it gets split. You know what I mean when I say these ridiculous things that I say? Like, this getting us a little extra mult doesn't matter as much on the plasma deck as on other decks, but I still think, like, yeah, I was gonna say it's our best hand possible. It's about as good as the hand we played last time, so obviously I'm feeling fantastic. Okay, let's get a chip joker, please. A joker that provides us some chips. This actually seems pretty good. Don't really need all face cards. Hoping to get some foils out of that. Life goes on. Okay, so far so good. We have mults, we have chips, we have like an end game joker that we have no reason to worry about at all right now because just living would be merciful. $4 for free rerolls kind of tickles my fancy, to be honest with you. It does. A pair without discarding, especially with a king in hand, is good enough. At some point we got to dump half joker, but for now we love life. Okay, that's a no-brainer. High Priestess World. I don't know if I'm correct in this assumption, but for me, I feel like, that's pretty nice too, honestly. For me, I feel like planet cards might go harder on, the plasma deck, just because of the fact that the extra chips you get from the upgrade are disproportionately meaningful when they then get split with mult versus staying on one side of the, I don't know, maybe it doesn't make sense now that I think about it. But we won ante-2 very easily indeed. Hand size would be nice. It could have re-rolled, but I think I know what I'm looking for in the short term at least. I'm not even sweating that. Hand size very good in case we ever have to rely on Baron, or like some jokers that actually give us progressive benefit would also be nice. But, you know, this is a good voucher. Certainly not a bad voucher. Pair of jacks with 2 kings in hands. I'm starting to think that the Baron is actually like straight up garbage for us. Is this a ridiculous statement? Like, we got about 4,000 out of each hand with 2 kings in hand, and then playing 2 kings we got 3,900. So for me personally, I'm a little skeptical that this does anything for us. Sorry, I'll fully acknowledge, by the way, I'm playing a little bit too fast here. But it's actually like, I feel like it's a great hand, or a great deck to play fast. Because there's a benefit to not discarding by way of blue joker. And there's a benefit to not fishing for great hands by way of half joker. But obviously, like, we're getting close to the point where that kind of falls apart. So we got to start doing some arithmetic. This ice cream is pretty incredible. I honestly just don't think the Baron, like, I think it's a great joker in the right circumstances, but I don't think it does anything for us right now. 4 mult doesn't do that much, so just give me the money. Death card. Splash is pretty good. Like, you get 20 mult, but we could easily add, like, a bunch of extra cards and get, like, 20 chips, or at least 20 chips. Death to create more 10s and 4s. I feel like 10-4 is kind of great because it gives chips and mult, but here's my thinking for now. Something like this and a standard pack, adding more cards, it's kind of minor, I think, but it might help us a lot with Blue Joker. But if we can get like some cool 10s and 4s, that would be nice. Let's get a Mega Standard and see how things go. A 10. I don't really care that much about a glass 6. I'm just being honest with you. Look at this, man. Look at this. How about you become a 4? What if you just played 10, 4, 4, 4, 4? Which means half Joker should not exist, but... that's a big hand. But keep in mind, ice cream is not going to last forever. It melts. Think about that as we get into our summer days. Enjoy them before they're gone, or whatever. I would like to copy this 5 as well. It's not a 10 or a 4, but it gives us 50 chips just by itself, which seems amazing. I mean, a stone card in the plasma deck makes a lot of sense. A foil card in the plasma deck makes a lot of sense. And a bonus 10 makes a lot of sense. You gotta remember, 50 chips is like better than 10 chips and 4 mult, I think. But if we play it, then we're not gonna get the seal. But if we don't play it, we would get the planet. If you played the... I don't know, man. Give me a foil card. I mean, it seems hard to go wrong. It's one of those situations where you're like, you're happy to have whatever you have. Like, there was choosing between many great options instead of, like, the best of the worst options. Okay? I'm not sweating it. You might say, NL, what are you doing? It's true to say that we could discard, but I'm enjoying Blue Joker, like, getting the most out of Blue Joker that we can. Hi, Tomo. I want to use Death Card to copy, like, one of our really, really good cards. Even as ice cream starts to melt, we got a little time. I mean, this was the boss that, like, halves your score, so... Let's go with Overstock, and I think I'd be silly to not at least consider the tower. Maybe the Heroes of the Storm chatter was right. Like, we're kind of off to the races here. I mean, 50 chips. It does something for us. It does a certain something. Even though it's not a 10 or a 4. Give me this bonus right here. Hey, Tomo. That's pretty good as well. Ace, Ace, 10, 10, 4. Splash doesn't need to be here, and though I hate to say it, I mean, obviously Ice Cream's decaying. Maybe long-term we don't need Blue Joker. It'd be better to have something that just, like, adds a stone to our deck every time. That would be, like, a dream come true. To be honest, I wouldn't mind Banana to eventually get to Cavendish, but if I skip this, can we get 100k? Like, it's kind of tough. It's tough to imagine. 5/5. It's a foil 5 that re-triggers once, and then we added a 4 on top of it as well. It's only 27,000 points. That's got me scared, just because of the fact that that was like what I felt was like one of the best hands we could muster without discarding. So maybe we're actually cooked. That seemed like a horrible hand. How about 10 Jack, Queen, King, Ace? And then we just have to have 4 4s at the end, and we're off to the races, right? We have lost. Even with Splash, whatever we played there was not gonna even come close. Okay, so this is my problem with the Plasma deck, and my problem with Heroes of the Storm. It doesn't make innate sense to me. This is like, it's not even a criticism of Balatro, because I mean, it's always nice to have more variety, but this to me is kind of like, you know, my expertise comes from Isaac. This is interesting. Both of these are really good, honestly. 50 chips plus 80 chips on a flush? I'm gonna willing to give it a try, even though I probably like Blue Joker more. Isaac was great, you know? And then they came out with Rebirth, and it was even better. And then they came out with Afterbirth, and it was even better. Then they came out with, like, Afterbirth Plus, and you're like, maybe like kind of overcooking it. It's getting like a little overstuffed, and then like I think it's still a great game. I'm not trying to make enemies, don't get me wrong. But then they came out with like Repentance, and it was like, now it's heavily overcooked. Like, there's so many tainted characters. Like, I admire the ingenuity that went into the game design, but at the same time, it's just maybe a little too much for my boomer brain, I guess, to parse them all. I play Balatro to play Balatro, and with the Plasma deck, I'm playing like, you know, Balatro is like, but it's bowling with the bumpers on, you know what I mean? -1 hand. Like, it feels different to me, not in a super negative way. Hey, would it be possible to not have every Joker for eternity be eternal? Because, like, and that's pun unintended, but, like, I mean, I get it. Don't worry, I'm cool. I get it. But at some point, I'd like to have, like, some flexibility in my builds, but no stress. We're not stressing about it. We know as long as we play flushes, we're good till, like, ante 3 at the very least, even with no other Jokers. I'm just gonna choose to ignore you, and I'm also gonna, I mean, I'm spending $10 to build our econ, which seems very backwards, but I think that this makes sense. My game plan is, unless we see a 10 out of 10 Joker, I'm basically just gonna get to the interest cap, or that's gonna be my predominant goal, is to get to the interest cap. And not worry too much about anything else. Get the econ off the ground. And then everything else, you know, it can come in time. Or sometimes not at all, as Austin Powers said to the Italian bird, or whatever. Maybe you've never seen the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's not my purview. At this point, I would buy a Mega Arcana. We're at the interest cap. We're probably going to get some econ. We didn't get any econ. Let's start with an Emperor. We got some econ. That's what we're talking about. Do me a favor. Cut 2 3s. I know we're playing flushes for now, but that may change. Our Joker is Square Joker. Square Joker ante 2. Face cards trigger twice is nice. I feel like the Bull is kind of nice too, bro, because we're building chips, right? Let's commit to some chips, and I feel like I kind of have an idea of where I want to go here, okay? I would like Mars, but I want to stay at the interest cap. I'm making some executive decisions. So flushes are good for us, but this is going to give us 50 chips no matter what. So I feel like we have nothing to stress about. What we want to do eventually is add great face cards. Because we have Eternal Sock and Buskin, so we like have no choice. I'm not willing to destroy all of my Jokers. I am willing to create like a boatload of stone cards. Like if there was ever a deck that it could work with, I would assume that it could be this one. And I would love to get a negative Joker. And honestly, like maybe the best thing that we could ask for is like a negative stone Joker would like really hit the, or a negative econ Joker would really hit the spot. Like golden Joker's fine, but like something like Rocket or, okay, negative Ballot is crazy if we can get some good face cards. And negative Mystic Summit at least like is negative, so why would we care? We need to, as good as death can be here, we need some face cards, man. Like, we don't have enough good face cards. We got, like, a full money build, huh? I'm sorry, Square Joker. It's just gonna take too long. This is a really interesting idea. Like, what if we just basically completely stopped... I should have put stone at the front, obviously, but what if we completely stopped spending money at this point? Am I insane to think that this wins just by, like, natural scaling? Even without a Molt-Molter? Do you even need a Molt-Molter in this mixed-up workaday world we're living in here? I mean, this is looking great. We're gaining, what? Probably, like, 15 per time. What is 15? 15 is... 6 Molts and 30 chips? I have no idea how good it is. But it sounds quite nice. Why would you play a pair when you could play this instead? I mean, it's an extra 80 chips. It's not nothing. Maybe we, like, at some point, we certainly want to buy the voucher that lets us get more interest. Well, everything else is kind of like secondary, right? We desperately need to create more good face cards, I think. Or maybe just upgrade your hands. Like, even just like a Uranus is probably like good enough. Don't waste money on rerolls. Spectral pack. I think we gotta go for it, man. Uranus is 2 pairs, so just play it. I don't know. I mean, this is a weird build. I almost feel like this is, in a way, like even more cowardly and boring than what I normally do, which is just like green Joker maxing nonstop. But we haven't really tried to ever make a money build work. So, or not consistently at the very least. Also, all this like hand wringing over whether it can or can't work is essentially irrelevant because like the jokers that enable it are more or less all eternal. So buckle in, because there's no getting off until we reach our destination. This is not really like an Uber, it's more like an airplane, I would say. When we get there, they'll open the door. Until then, don't stress. And you know what? I mean, if we're sticking with these jokers, it's a great time to start sending those wheels downfield. Sans wheel. I'll just continue popping these Emperor cards. One day, man. One day they're gonna work for us. The re-trigger on Magician would be nice. I actually feel like that's beautiful. It's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. Emperor Temperance. Temperance is crazy for us. Maybe we can commit to like some flush houses. I guess we had a full house in there, but no big deal. Nothing on the re-triggers. Okay, it's devastating on like a mathematical level, but on a survival level, I still feel like we're doing great. Now our jokers just got less spend value, but we can certainly keep it moving here, or less sell value, I should say. I'll just be honest with you, and I've said this on a lot of runs. This has the makings of either like the easiest win or the easiest loss of all time. And I certainly hope it's the easiest win, but I've been mistaken before. Stone cards got to be at the front. That's the sort of thing you want to like get in the habit of early. And we're not even, there's no reason not to use our discards right now. In fact, there are reasons to use our discards, but I think we'd be better off going Ectoplasm. And I almost feel like, should we really just bust out like Swashbuckler? 18 flat mult is like pretty good. Played face cards can give you money. It's an interesting idea. I don't know. I don't have a... Played face cards can give you money. I guess we'll discard to try to get 2 pair where like one of the pairs is a face card, or we could play like, I guess we could just play this. Like there's no rush, right? Do we really just play that for $2? Is that sensible? Is that a smart decision? Is that the sort of thing that you would recommend if you were like my counsel? I mean, I get that we're like a money build, but I don't know. It's probably, I mean, we got like $4 for the price of $2. If they started doing that at the bank, well, you probably wouldn't see so many of them around. Let's just put it that way. It's just such an unusual sort of run that I'm not 100% sure like what we're building towards. But 280 chips out of the bowl. Sorry, 312 chips out of the bowl without like having to do anything seems pretty sweet. And it's only getting better as long as I don't spend money and I play face cards as much as possible. Did you see that? That was like 1 billion points. My word. My word. We got like 80,000 points off of playing a single king. How much you generate? 380 chips. All cards are face cards. I mean, that's like a gimme. So is this? Am I insane? How do we even fit that? Because, like, we could dump you, but... Like, what are you scratching, buddy? Oh, look, check this out. Yes! We bought it 8 months ago. It's finally happened. Listen, this is going to be worth more than $4 per round because of the re-trigger here. We could always sell it if we come across the boss blind that is like face cards are debuffed. You are nice, but you being eternal is like, I kind of feel like it's a non-starter. Now, if I'm being genuine with you, I think we could probably, like, buy the standard pack. Like, we're in a position to probably, like, spend money. But why jeopardize it, man? Why jeopardize it for none reason? Come on. Come on. That was 177,000. I think we're gonna win. And it's tragic, in a way, because even though we're probably gonna win, I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing with the plasma deck. But I will say, chips have served us very well. That's undeniable. My God. Again, the luckiest lucky cards of all time. We got 20 bucks and 20 mult. Mind you, I mean, they did trigger like 35 times, but we shouldn't be playing high card now that, I mean, it's fine, but like, we should be playing like as many cards in a hand as we can. I'll just level, it's too late for DNA to be like super meaningful, I think. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of any of these, but I feel like stone cards have served us pretty well. Discards 2 cards per hand played. Like, irrelevant. Oh, my cards! Who could have seen that coming, man? Okay, this is what we're talking. This is like the dream hand right here. Playing our stone card generated 1 million chips and $6. Like this, we will be beating Anti-8. We will be going into Endless, even though the Endless doesn't really count as a result of the fact that we're on the Plasma deck. So I can't take too much credit for it, but... And honestly, like, I mean, again, I kind of feel like Molt is like not that good. So why not just take more chips, man? You seem amazing. You seem very good. I have a 54 card deck, but like it doesn't really matter what we play. It's shocking. This is a shocking setup right here. We just need to draw 1 spade. I would prefer it weren't you though. Not to be rude, but I'm like, really? You're gonna do me like that? You're not okay. They did give me a spade. This way, I should get 2 Jupiters out of this. Now, do I care about 2 Jupiters? Not that much, but like if I didn't play it this way, I feel like you probably would have yelled at me. So I'm at least gonna... Maybe we'd be better off leveling up Mercury or something like that. That's why it has me feeling like Endless is kind of like a long shot because we're not committed to like a single hand. But the flip side of it is like whatever hand we play, it like goes to the moon no matter what. Just because of the 8 Jokers we got. What, more of those, man? More of those. 8 Jokers is kind of a... Can't always rely on that situation, so I guess I'll be pleased about it. 182,000. You had me stressing for a second there. So what kills us? I honestly, like, without trying to pull the wind out of your sails for the enthusiasm, the Ross and Rachel, will he or won't he win on this one? I feel like what could stop us, man? What could stop us? I mean, this is great. I feel like there's nothing I sell in order to like make it hit. Because we got such a good setup already. We just keep taking like relatively easy hands to play. We buy the standard pack because we have $300. We'd probably rather have like lucky cards re-trigger at this point. All face cards are debuffed? I mean, I guess this starts to unwind like the whole synergy that we had going on. Come on, you're not gonna give me a flush on this one? Okay, you're gonna make me do that, then I'll do that. Like it sucks to lose that Joker, but it was kind of like we knew that it was a possibility, so we kept it around as a possible jettison. And I mean, we could dump business card. What do we care? We have $319 now. Tarot cards more frequent. Insane for econ. Wow, this is like, again, I'm not trying to like belabor the point, but like this is the easiest run I think you could possibly imagine. Plasma deck and then like the 2 Jokers that most obviously scale you with money and then just never spending money. Wow, who would have... 2.4 million? Are you crazy? Hang on, am I about to get owned? 85 times 7, that's pretty good. Business card can go now. 2.4 million. 2.4 million points. 2.4 million points? We're not going to lose on anti-8 after everything we've talked about, right? I feel like, at the very least, we can sell business card, buy driver's license, and see how it affects our score. There's a pretty good chance we would get a negative in here, but with these, no. 90 chips, like what do we care? We're getting 600 out of you. Like, my hunch is that, like, a Molter doesn't matter that much, but it actually seems pretty good, although 470,000 still doesn't really get us there. But then if you factor in going down to 0 discards in order to make Mystic Summit work, I mean, you're good. But again, I now with driver's license, I don't think we can replace anything. I think we just got to save. And I think there's like a little hopium involved here. And I think that's okay. I think that's us just being honest about where the run stands. We can't be upset about it, but let me just see. 0 discards, we're getting the 15 extra mult. 624,000 points. You wouldn't. All I'm gonna say is you wouldn't. You wouldn't. After everything we've been through, I do think we want the stone cards at the front because the guaranteed chips is probably, well, the mult getting tripled might change the calculus a little bit. You wouldn't. You simply wouldn't. You wouldn't do this to me. Obviously, this is the play. I think you still go stone at the front, man. And just, I'd love the 20 mult. Thank you so much. No, I don't know how to do math. Really? I mean, 2.4 million was kind of like a ruthless amount. Don't get me wrong. I still thought we had it locked up. Well, shows what I know. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll see you next time. Yikes. See ya.